Let's get it.
How you gon' stop what you can't catch in your own zone? I met us up, out on patrol, messing up the ozone. Chaos where we thrive, no pressure, we stay in beast mode. Step up, bro, we can't be caught slipping, boy, that's a no-no. What we got control, nobody got nothing to say about it. Do something about it, what meets you where you stand at it. Never bad down from a challenge, we be the first to take it. Win, lose, and draw, we keep it coming till we reign. Champion road jumper, represent us, action bound, bang with it, hooligan for life, and I'm damn so proud of it. Eyes on the mission, we hit and stay focused. All fed and loving, but who care about our methods? Word on the street, and road jumper, beat them savages. Some baby walkers and faction, know what time it is. Showtime, game time, we found it in the war pit. Caught a rabbit hole where I doubt the other faction win. Up for match our energy, that's impossible. We capable, we're taking drones out, that's simple. Now name another faction who can do that with their eyes closed. They the only one out back, and that's the big
one.
Roll on this lonely road, and where we go, nobody knows. Our strength, our blood, our vibe grows. Watch us as we take the show. Girls we know, L's don't go. That's why we walk this lonely road. Our strength, our blood, our vibe shows. We going, we going, we going.
Put your money on the squad, on the Fetty, you ain't make it. It's guaranteed we breaking all the banks, yeah, that's a safe bet. If you ain't talking money, then it ain't no need to say it. Cause if we ain't speaking dollars, then it's never gonna make sense. We don't talk L's, only dubs when we Detroit. Put me in the red zone, I'ma send a decoy. Run the play action, throw the bullet like a neat toy. And I ain't never met a suck that I couldn't beat, boy. Nah, they don't really wanna do the drama. Do it live in the mañana, running up and make the commas. Got a llama with a lot of violent missiles in the bottom. Make it hotter in the kitchen, send you back home to your mama. I'm a rider, on the field, dying for the cause. Flip a coin, get destroyed, boy, I'm dying for the cause. Set the bar high enough to see the climbing for the stars. Cause we road jumpers, anybody try us getting.
We gon' roll on this lonely road, and where we go, nobody knows. Our strength, our blood, our vibe grows. Watch us as we take the show. Girls we know, L's don't go. That's why we walk this lonely road. Our strength, our blood, our vibe shows. We going, we going, we going, we going.
My mind at ease, a flame on these mindless thieves. And zucker roaches, only them will my kind appease. My tears, blood and sweat's tears, ain't no man I fear. I relentlessly scheme until victory's eve. And victory I believe. This my story, cold-blooded bunny born of the underbelly Elliot is zuckered society. They can try all they wanna, but can't stop this monster inside of me. On which side of thee? You either with us or against us. We ain't no hamsters with a hop-stepping rabbit hole rappers. All fists, no weapon stopping on that sub-metal. Float like a butterfly but sting like a nettle. Till it settles up, corp is my endeavor. I endeavor to win, but all good deeds are conflicted by sin. Carrot gang be my brethren and kin, a road jumper. Let my story begin.
Stream and AMA time, straight out of AMGI Studios, the Disney and Pixar of Web3, the machine that keeps grinding day in, day out, the studio where the top talents of the future are honing their skills, the studio responsible for the baddest set of bunnies in the Northern Hemisphere, the studio that's responsible for making the best mascot character in the space period, the studio that developed Hooli, a mascot character the world needed, the studio that never sleeps, the studio that was founded by some of the best talents and renowned practitioners in their field, the studio that created My Pet Hooligan, stepping up to take Web3 gaming and products to the next level. You know what time it is? Live stream time, baby, like clockwork. Favorite time of the fortnight. You know what to do. Smash the like button, retweet, comments, get busy in the chat, all that stuff. We're hot off GDC. We're taking things to the next level. We've got a full panel in the house today. Yep, we've got an empty seat as well for an individual you're going to meet. We're going to meet some more of the team members. So December 2021, we minted the Hooligans. We said we'd make a game. We've been hard at work building, and last week we took our game to one of the most ambitious Web3 games, to the premier games conference, GDC. That's no easy task. This is big progress. This is us sticking to our word. This is us delivering at the top levels. Conviction's higher than ever. Not only did peeps dig the game, they also dug the brand too. They loved Hooli and Crystal Bun. New stars are being born, and real solid progress is being made for Web3 gaming and for My Pet Hooligan. We all ready to roll?
Oh yeah, we're ready.
Let's roll. How we doing, team? Give me the vibe check.
Doing great, man. Happy to be back from GDC.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that felt great, though.
Yeah, I mean, is that everybody? I think everybody got ill over there, right?
Pretty much.
Except for Kevin, surprisingly. Well done, man.
I'm already ill.
Yeah. You're already ill, yeah. Sickness.
The illest in space. The illest wizard that ever existed.
Illest wizard with a hell of an immune system.
All right, so vibe checks looking good. All right, so agenda for today. Going to give you a bit of a GDC recap. I know a lot of you saw footage. We had a blast. We're coming in hot, so let's recap. We've got a general update, where we at with the game. I know we've got a version coming out soon to the community. Wes will give us a bit of an update on where we're getting with site development. We'll talk a little bit about Fortnite Creative. Everybody's talking about it, so we'll show you what we're doing. And we've got Meet the Team segment as always. So let's get right to it. So let's get into GDC. We had a reverse AMA over at GDC, so I think some of you have kind of been briefed about what's going on, but everyone wants to hear about it. Let's talk about it. Let's start from the start. You know, we were kind of telling the story about how we got there, and we were setting up on day one and realized we needed to really step it up. You know, Kevin's a GDC veteran, but give us no pre-warning. GDC isn't NFT.enter city name here. It's a completely different level, and we absolutely smashed it. So talk to us, people. How do we feel coming off that? Tell us a bit about the story about how we got there, and you know, we had to get a bit creative.
Yeah, so we showed up on a Sunday night, and you know, Hooligans style. I think we got all the security after us on every front. You know, parking in the wrong spot. You know, bringing in the things at the wrong time. Our guys who were moving stuff in, they got locked in, doors closed.
Towed
to spend the night.
Had to wake up at 4 a.m.
You know, and so we showed up and we're looking around at these other booths around us, and all of a sudden we realized that everyone's spending like millions of dollars on their booths, and they're all like really slick and a little bit flimsy, and they all kind of look a little a little generic. And so here we are with some screens and our Hoolie head here. But we knew we needed to take it up a notch. So I think Skyhopper and Luke over here, I think they were looking around. They're saying, like, what can we do? You know, we're hooligans after all. So we graffitied up the place pretty fast. We got some art supplies, got some giant balloons, which apparently you're not allowed to bring there. So breaking all the rules. I think what we lacked in actual cash for decorating our place, I think we made up for in heart and authenticity.
It
so
was
I think
totally punk.
It seemed to really pay off.
It was right on brand, and everybody who came by the booth had something to say about how organic and how cool it felt. And even as we were setting up and we were graffitiing the booth and everything, people who were setting up other booths were coming by saying like, "Hey, can I get in? Can I do some artwork with you guys?" Like, yeah, come on. And so it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And if you look pretty closely, maybe it's something behind the scenes, we tried to write as many different little pieces of hooligan lore, trivia, bringing in community member names, top hoppers, all that stuff, all within the graffiti. So
yeah, we
pretty
had
fun.
hooligans from our community coming by and helping us out, helping us with the graffiti. People that we didn't even ask to be there, that all of a sudden were part of our team. So it's kind of a grassroots effort, and very quickly I think we got a lot of attention, and then we just started expanding. We took our hooligan balloons over to the Polygon booth. We took over Hooligans style. We took over their booth, and I think they kept the balloons there. So we just kept expanding, and anyway, I think it was a really good show, and I think people responded really well. No one looked like our booth. I think that's how we do it. All of the money that we were spending on this game is going directly into the game. It's not going into a fancy booth.
Well, it was real. You know, that's the thing. I mean, it looked like a DIY real thing. It didn't look like we went and hired some corporation and say, "Hey, go and design a booth for us," and then they go and give us the same thing everybody has.
I think, that was a really interesting takeaway too. Seeing, because everything, obviously, all the games there's lots of really impressive booths and things like that. But there was kind of a corporate vibe to it, and ours definitely stood out, given that it felt like, like these guys kind of went and built this shit. It felt cool.
I felt like I was in CBGB's. Probably only the old school people are going to know what that is.
When we did the Polygon takeover, we the people at Polygon were like, "Hey, we saw those balloons you guys had. Those are actually really cool. Can you bring one of those over here?" So these freaking balloons ended up being a hit.
We put the balloons on the Polygon booth, but also during the takeover, Skyhopper and Colin both just started putting up, and Rick just started putting up stickers, posters, all over the Polygon booth. I don't think that they were expecting that. Sorry, Polygon. But we definitely took it over in true hooligan fashion.
Well, then our music also took over as well.
That was really
cool. I saw
Kill.
individuals trying to Shazam the songs, and
that
it
was
like,
really
dude,
cool.
you ain't gonna find this. There's some real underground stuff.
Yeah, the music gets better every time you hear it, and so people are looking at our booth, not just our booth, but our characters and our hooligans. And I think objectively, you could say that no one is doing more animated characters than we are. So I think that's also what really stood out in our booth. Whether it's Web 3 or Web 2, I just think it was just clear that we're the only ones coming at it with like a Disney super animated style, but yet they're also hooligans. They're
A
having
very
fun.
special thing that we're building here for sure.
I think so.
Good stuff. All right. So, what are the kind of key takeaways? What did you enjoy there? I know there was a lot of people, a lot of youngsters as well, getting stuck in. So, talk to us about it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the main takeaways, being a Web3 game entering into GDC was we didn't know how accepting, the traditional gamers were going to be going to GDC, and it was a pretty great welcoming for people understanding or welcoming in the IP, understanding the take that we have with Web3 gaming, and really just overall the feedback was all really on the up and up from everybody who came in to check out the game. Again, like the product stands for itself, and the way that we're approaching Web3 gaming is something that people really were attracted to. People had nothing to do or had no experience with Web3 before. As we walked them through our approach, walked them through the game, people were really into that. So it was a great takeaway on that regard.
Someone just dropped their kid off all day long. We were kind of babysitting.
We were.
Like a little nursery.
Yeah.
And apparently it's pretty easy to watch kids when you have a game like My Pet Hooligan there for them to play. And so there was this kid just playing all day long and just having fun. So I think it was a good.
That kid was a
no
killer,
more
too.
babysitters.
That kid was like murking fools.
No more babysitters needed. Just download My Pet Hooligan.
Exactly. Yeah.
We've talked about this in the past, but big shout out first off, obviously to Carl, to Kevin, and to all of our amazing game developer team and all the artists that are working here to build this thing. Because Kevin, you've really brought this up multiple times. When we talk about the hook, we talk about the thing that makes this game special. The Web3 elements are obviously amazing. We're all really bullish on all of that, but fundamentally, the hook of this game has got to draw people in, and I think that was something that really showed through this entire thing. We were, as Luke was saying, we were wondering if we were going to have to be defensive about NFTs and Web3. That wasn't the case at all. The hook in the game spoke for itself.
And on that too, people would just walk by that. I mean, the fact that the booth was super organic, had its graffiti all over it. Yeah. We just have screens that are presenting the game and having people sit there and play. People just walk by and you could see them stop and they kind of like watch for a little bit. Some people come right up and play. Others kind of be on the outskirts, kind of like, okay, I don't know about this. And then slowly but surely they come in, sit down, play, and kind of make them a believer. So
well, the Sir Sweetness was great too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Sir
Huge
Sweetness.
As soon as he saw
man.
anybody like even stop and take a look, he's like, "Hey, you want to play?"
Huge.
Yep.
It was
Huge.
great.
Shout out to Rick and Sir Sweetness, man. Guys just crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So
What's up, YZ, as well, for being there with us.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
What's
Big
up, YZ?
shout out to What's Up.
Absolutely. Thank you.
all right. So
What's up?
As Kevin's often said, there's in GDC there's 3 GDCs, right? And that involves a lot of meetings happening in the lobbies, in hotel suites, and we definitely got up to a lot of business. I don't know how much we can go into any of that, but there'll definitely be some good announcements coming out of GDC to kind of look forward to in the next few months.
Absolutely.
Lots come from it.
A lot of business was conducted. In fact, there was some days where we were just literally going from hotel to hotel to meeting suite, cabs, walking, running, everything. It was pretty intense, but it was good fun, and hard work always pays off, as we're seeing today with all the progress that we've made. So what other kind of takeaways were there from GDC? I know there was a lot of kind of chatter about people really kind of resonating with the characters, and the characters having a lot of life, being fun. Being expressive, and that's not something we see from a lot of products and games.
Yeah.
But what else did you say? You got the next level of drive. You're stronger in your conviction. How are we feeling?
There was one thing that really stood out too. That like Skyhopper's talking about, as we were going through all these different meetings and we were off of the floor. Something kept popping up too that we heard a few times. Like, oh wait, My Pet Hooligan. I've heard of you guys, or I've seen this, or oh, you guys are the rabbit game. We started to pop up in other circles outside of the booth, outside of our circles, and when that network starts to grow, it's you're onto something there, and you're doing something right.
Yeah, or to meet somebody new, and to learn that they own 60 hooligans, and you're going, this is amazing. It's very humbling. It's a very humbling experience to meet somebody who owns so many hooligans, who's such a believer in what we do. So that was huge. And then also, some of the announcements from Epic, I think, were also very encouraging.
Absolutely.
Epic has announced this new initiative with Fortnite Creative, and their store where people can actually make their own specific islands for people to play with Fortnite. And we're looking at this ecosystem. We're thinking, this is exactly in line with what we're wanting to do. In fact, actually, some of the leaders in Epic actually sought us out and have encouraged us to be part of this ecosystem. So we're super excited to jump right in and to bridge the gap. And
Absolutely.
It's very much in line with our
They
thinking.
just fired the starting gun on the real metaverse.
That's
Totally.
it.
Since
It's
we're
like,
talking
this
about
is
that,
what it's really
have we got anything to show?
We got a couple behind-the-scenes videos of just some stuff we're just working on people's monitors and so on. I don't know if that's easy to bring up. I'll see if I have some stuff I could bring up just behind the scenes.
Yeah, let's see. So talk to me a bit about this. So what are we doing with Fortnite Creative?
Well, I mean, it's a place where we can actually share our assets and incorporate them into the same ecosystem that Fortnite is using already. Now, that doesn't yet mean that you're driving a hooligan running around in a Fortnite environment, but we're getting pretty close to that. And so, once again, we're just scratching the surfaces. There's a whole new language to learn called Verse, which we're jumping in on very quickly, and hopefully this is something that our team is learning very quickly. So these are just some behind the scenes stuff where we're bringing Carl Berger into the mix. So this is actually playing Fortnite.
I loved seeing that. Carl Berger in Fortnite.
Yeah.
With a hooligan.
With
You guys
a
can't tell.
hooligan there.
Carl Berger is going to be a really important part of this brand moving forward. We've got a lot of
That's
we've got a lot
really-
of plans for Carl Berger.
Watch out, In and Out.
Those Applebee's.
Absolutely. I mean,
Right.
well, yeah, exactly. It's
Is there any way we could get this full screen?
there's Applebee's.
Yeah, so we have some links that we sent to our
No.
director. Nope, not yet. All right, well, we'll just have to maybe show this in some Twitter videos later.
Coming soon.
All right. So
Stay tuned for the behind the scenes on
just
Sunday,
keep,
maybe.
Keep playing it there. There's Hooli and Fortnite Creative. Hooli can jump. That's good. That's a good
Yeah.
start. So
More to come
tell
on
us a
that.
bit about what we kind of hoping to achieve with this, Kevin, if possible.
Well, I mean, like I said, I mean, Fortnite Creative, I mean, and technically it's existed since 2018, but up until like last week, if you wanted to go and create in Fortnite Creative, you had to go and do it using the building tools inside the game, which was pretty cumbersome, not so good. So the big announcement is UAFN, Unreal Editor for Fortnite, and it's huge. This is game changing. I mean, releasing this editor for the community to go and create, releasing a language, Verse, to support it, because Verse is just natively network aware. It's a really, really well designed functional programming language based on Haskell. It's really smartly built for the job that it needs to do. This is going to unlock massive amounts of creativity. I mean, because at this point you now have the biggest gaming ecosystem in the world, with the tool set for people to go and create anything they want in it, to imagine anything and get it running and just see what happens. This is how we're going to discover what we really want the metaverse to be, because we know what we don't want it to be. We don't want it to be Second Life but more boring. and so what these guys just did, and why this is such a big deal, is they just created the mechanism by which we're all going to figure this out. We're going to figure out what the next generation of the web is using these tools, I believe.
I like that we've got similar sky going on here as well. So
Yeah.
definitely
pretty
more
amazing.
information, more behind the scenes to come on this, but we are getting stuck in. We've got a really solid relationship with the guys over at Epic as well, and they're very supportive of everything we're doing. So
Yeah.
they did tell us to get cracking and moving on this, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Yep,
And
exactly.
their lead evangelist for this, Samuel Bass, I worked with him on Medal of Honor years and years ago. So it was great to see him again at GDC and chat with him about what's going on. And this is exciting. What's
It's the
happening.
future.
All right, and Kevin, obviously you're a GDC veteran. You've been going there for I don't know how many years, but
97 was my first.
97 was
97
that the
years.
first ever GDC.
Yeah, 97 was the first one I went to.
Okay, so Kevin's the real OG. So tell us about how you've seen kind of like attitudes change and the kind of shift in terms of kind of creativity and where you see gaming really going in the future.
I think one of the big moves that we're seeing happening is that games are starting to shift into like kind of more of a part of people's lives. They're becoming like they're becoming playgrounds more than just games.
Yeah.
Where rather than just something you jump in and you go and play a game, like you look at the way my nieces play Roblox, they're not really even playing the game a lot of the time. They're just kind of chilling out. It's a place to hang out with their friends. Fortnite gets used the same way. That's why UAFN is such a big deal. Again, Minecraft gets used a lot that way. Like Roblox and Minecraft are kind of the OG real metaverses, right? That exist right now. And so I think when you look at where it's going, I think that's kind of a big shift that we're starting to see happen, where like people want these things to fit in their lives. They want this to be a place that you can go and meet your friends and play a game, have fun. The gameplay's got to be good. It's got to be like, I mean, that's a mistake that some of the others made with, they're like kind of, trying to resist like, name checking the biggest failing metaverse out there right now. But the reason why it's not working is that they didn't give you anything to do. Yep. They said, I mean, if it's not exciting to just stand around and
have a meeting there.
I don't know. Exactly. If that were exciting, we'd all be standing out in parking lots right now because it would be like, amazing. So
I do that all the time.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was really influenced by a book about a year ago called Punk Playthings. I think it's a kind of a new sort of manifesto for game design. It was really brilliantly thought out. I wish I remembered the authors right now, but they talked about this. They said, listen, we're saturated with gameplay. I mean, I don't even know how many games I have in my collection. I mean, I probably just got another 4 of them for free from Epic. But what we're really looking for now is places to play, places to be with each other, and we want stuff to do with it, and we want stuff where we can express ourselves and where we can appreciate what other people are doing. And I think that's really, for us at least, that's what we're really leaning into.
Yeah, totally.
So.
Good stuff. All right, well, GDC kind of also marked our first activation with Polygon. We're going to be digging deeper into what that Polygon partnership is and probably a longer form article and exploration soon. But there's been some chatter around, does it mean we're moving our OG collections to Polygon? Not at all. We will have more of a discussion on that in the Rammer, but our OG Hooligans are grails. They are super duper important collectible in our ecosystem, and they will be protected at all costs. Hooli will protect the OG Hooligans at all costs. And what better protector than Hooli and his new sidekick and partner in crime, Crystal Bun. So look forward to hearing more about that, and you'll definitely be hearing kind of more chatter and more activations with us and Polygon too. One thing I also wanted to touch on, we were going to be at E3, that was part of our plan, but E3 has been cancelled. I think they made that public yesterday. But we've definitely got some other things planned. Luke, what were you looking into?
Yeah, I mean, right now, without going too deep into any of the other, game conventions, we are looking for more of the traditional Web 2 gaming conventions. Right now, PAX is one of them that we are looking at. So, as these things continue to unfold and we kind of see what the rumblings are about what's the next big one that we could get out to, we'll announce that to the community, give you guys plenty of heads up to get out there as well. But yeah, unfortunately, E3 got canceled, and now we're just on to the next, so...
Good stuff. All right. So still a lot of exciting things to come. Still big kind of game shows, and we're really putting a focus on this year at hitting a lot of the game shows. There's definitely benefits of conventions like NFT NYC, but we're really kind of leading on products and leading in the game world, and we want to showcase ourselves amongst the best in the space at in those particular industries. So that's where we've got to be, and that's really where we're going to be pushing this year.
And that's actually something too with GDC. We got to actually get that first look into, okay, here's what some of these other top games are doing and how they're approaching it, and the top technology that's in these games, and comparing ourselves up to that. So like Skyhopper is saying, it's there are a few more NFT Web3 native events we're looking at, but really trying to focus on being gaming. Smart with the resources that we spend, going to these bigger traditional events for this year.
And it makes sense, right? Because if we can nail that, which is not an easy thing to do, as we all are very well aware, and as many Web3 projects have found out, it's not easy to build a really high quality game.
It is a lot harder than people think it is.
If we can compete in that, right? If we can do that well, if we can execute that, then that should take care of everything else. That's our core focus. So, sorry.
Totally. Yeah, a lot of what you saw in the early like Web3 gaming space, especially, was you'd see teams that just didn't realize how hard it was going to be, and they try to go and build something and just faceplant building it, because this is a lot more complicated software than it looks like at first.
Totally.
Or you'd see people who just kind of phoned it in with kind of a corporate thing, and they outsourced it and said, "Oh, here, just go make a clone of this game, make it familiar enough, but just a little bit different, like this game here." And say, "Well, nobody wants to play that, It's like, we can play the real thing. Why are we going to play a clone?"
I think that was the biggest difference with this convention, which was that people would just play this game and the topic of Web3 wouldn't come up first. It was just like they're
Right.
playing the game, they're having fun. I'm like, oh yeah, if you hit the end button, you could switch between your different NFTs. And they'd say, wait, this is an NFT? I'm playing as an NFT? I'm like, oh yeah.
That's
And
a
it's like,
really
I forgot to mention
important
that. Like
insight.
that's just all part of the. It's so seamlessly now built into the game that people forget about it, which is exactly the right approach. You know, as Skyhopper was mentioning, we have been talking to a lot of other big players, and every single player, without a doubt, is telling us, you guys are doing the right thing. You're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
We all know Web3 is here to stay. Whether or not the word NFT stays around or not, I think it's probably going to go away. But regardless, everyone knows it is here to stay, regardless of what the hype cycle does, whatever the media does, whatever Bitcoin is doing today, completely separate from all of that. Everyone knows technology is very, very real. NFT technology was invented for precisely this point, to be able to transfer your assets and your earnings, your rewards, between one platform to another. So whether you're going to be playing in this thing and a couple months later you get free movie tickets or something crazy
even
like
before
that.
NFT, that's why Ethereum exists. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
Vitalik
Absolutely.
Buterin, he created Ethereum because he lost some Warcraft assets and didn't
There
want
you
that
go.
ever to be
That's
happening
exactly
again.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, and people kind of went into this fever dream for a little bit, and they forgot what this thing was really for.
Exactly
Yeah.
right.
You know?
Using the technology to focus on ways that actually expand on the player experience. That's what I think is certainly some of the most compelling thinking for us, and just trying to use it as a tool set. How do we,
Yeah.
how do we make it?
100%.
How does it make life better for you, the person
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
using it? You know, and I think everybody kind of flipped it for a bit, and they're like, okay, well, how can we just make a quick buck on this? It's like,
Right,
well,
right.
that's short game. You know,
Exactly,
You'll win
exactly.
a little bit, but not for long.
You gonna say something, Luke?
No, go ahead. I'm getting the nod that we got to keep moving on. So let's keep
We gotta
keep the show
moving.
rolling.
All right, so a bit of everyone loves to get into the mind of Kevin Mack, so you definitely got a bit of it there. But yeah, I want to kind of move on to general updates. Did a bit of a write up on Twitter yesterday, so go check that out. We covered a bit about kind of game, website, contract, etc. One of the things that we did say and that we kind of keen to get out to everybody is alpha version 1.5. It's not 2.0, it's 1.5. We do have a version going out to the testing group today, I believe, which is probably the version you're seeing on screen right now. Once we get a bit of feedback in from that, we are then looking to release that to the wider community, probably a few weeks later. Kevin, talk about what's in and what's kind of still to come for the alphas, and what you've really been focusing on in terms of this latest build.
So the big focus for this latest build was tuning the combat. Like we needed to get the aiming really good. We needed to get the melee combat really good because games are tactile. You know, you got to get the feel right. I mean, with the look, I feel like we already got it. I love what this game looks like, and so we needed to make sure that the feel was really tight. So I love how this build feels now. I think this is going to be a good one, and then we'll get it to their crew, and they'll tell us all of the ways that we're wrong, and we can make it even better. And that's the beauty of this process. So next thing going on my front is the social stuff, is the voice chat and stuff like that.
Nice.
Carl's leaning hard into the skateboard, and because the skateboard is like the stuff that he's got going is so much fun. It completely changes what the city feels like. It changes what it feels like to play the game. So I'm really excited to see that stuff come in, and
When hoverboard?
I think hoverboard soon. I think we're going to be doing that as part of the skateboard effort, because a hoverboard is really kind of mostly a skateboard with different rules. You know, it's different rules about how the friction gets applied and whether, like, what it does when it's side grinding and stuff like that. So to me, I'm extra excited about that because we're going to let the hoverboards do stuff that you can't.
Hoverboards are sick.
Yeah, they totally are. Right?
And Kevin, talk a bit to us about, like, ultimately, I believe this map is going to be more of a escalation Royale map, right? And kind of like having loads of players with all the animations, fighting, combat. Like, what are we doing to kind of, what are the steps we've got to do to ensure that that's really efficient and well optimized?
You're right. I mean, Hooligan City, where you're in right now, this is the overworld, and so when you first jump in, this is what you jump into, and this is where your friends are going to be, and if you want to get into a game that's got a defined time scope or something like that, like a team deathmatch, or you want to get into a battle royale, you're going to be entering it from this world. You'll go to the zone, and your friends gather up in the zone, and then boom, now you're in the game. We're going to do a battle royale in this space because, I mean, it's really well designed for it. You know, you got that dome right there. You've got like really good landscape for it, but there's also a lot of other gameplay styles in here. I mean, the team deathmatch already runs, so now what we're going to do is tie it into this map. Control point gameplay, that works. Out here in the main map, you're doing free-for-all deathmatch. We're going to allow you to flag for PvP. So if you don't feel like getting shot at, you don't have to. You know, if you want to just hang out with your friends, or you're making a movie or whatever, or you're going and collecting stuff, you get to pick whether or not you want somebody to be, you know, ganking you from a rooftop. If you see
And from a
happening.
technical perspective, how difficult is it getting a ton of players in here with all this activity going on?
It's challenging. It's challenging. So most of my life is going to be that focus. And Archie, whom you guys met like a couple AMAs ago. I love Archie. You know, he and I are basically kind of be going head down on the network optimization. So while Carl and Joshua and some of the other guys get to do like the really fun stuff and make cool stuff for the world, like we're usually kind of head down looking at the profiler and saying, okay, what can we do to shave a couple more milliseconds off of our network traffic?
The very important stuff.
Yeah,
very important.
It's a game of inches. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
you usually sometimes you get lucky and you find like one big culprit and you fix it, and all of a sudden you picked it up. But that's a big part of this next push, and that's why we got to get this out to the testing group and just keep on cycling it out to the testing group so we can find out how it behaves.
It's a testament to how much time that takes to go through, comb through all of those details, and really, again, like those milliseconds, they add up, right? So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, if you're going to pull 16, or if you're going to pull 60 FPS, you got 16.66 milliseconds to deliver that frame. That is not a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you think like how fast a millisecond is. That is not a lot of time to get your work done. And
You
so
talked about the
No
last
time.
10% sometimes taking half your time.
90% of the time. The old software adage is the last 10% of the work takes 90% of your time, and it is true.
It's a good heuristic.
It's,
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for that, Kevin. I think everyone's loving just hearing Kevin talk, so maybe we just have one session with you, Kevin, for an hour at some point. All right, so in terms of other updates, we've touched on what we're doing for Fortnite Creative. Talk a bit about, I know you've been working with the team on website stuff, West, and Zuckbot contract migration. So talk a bit about the website. I know we've got a beta coming out by the end of next week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what we're trying to achieve with this new website, and how could the community help us?
Yeah, so a big note across the board from all of you that, you know, and we've known that this is something that we've wanted to improve on, is making this clear for somebody coming into the community. You know, just, we've got so much content and so much stuff that we're doing. I think for a lot of people or newcomers like to the brand, it's kind of like drinking out of a fire hose. Like, I feel like it's like, what the hell is all of this?
Lot going on.
Trying to kind of create some funnels and create some semblance of, you know, just like a clear and cohesive onboarding system. So when we launch this first beta version of the site, we're going to be asking you guys to first just give us feedback and kind of look at it from the perspective. Obviously, all of you are, you know, deep in the world, but try to look at it from the perspective of, you know, if you were just coming into this, does this make sense? Do the Web3 elements of this make sense? Is this coherent? Is this clearly communicated? And if not, tell us, because this is something we're taking very, very seriously. You know, we want to make sure that this is something this is a living project, and it's going to be living as we go further, obviously, and it's going to then touch into our staking dashboard and things like that. So, you know, we're kind of just going piece by piece here. And on all of this, I just want to give a huge shout out to Have Some Hope and 6967. You guys are amazing. You guys have really been helping out, just giving tons of insight there, and I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, I'm feeling really good about this. We're not at Yuga level yet, but we're coming toward it. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, just in regards to the website, everything else we are.
All right, good stuff. And in terms of Zuckbot contract migration, contract is done. We're waiting on the Chapella upgrade, which is on April the 12th, to test out if there's more efficiencies available for us. After which we'll propose the steps forward and what the community needs to do, if anything.
Yeah, really looking forward to getting that through for you guys, so we can keep burning and keep Zuckbotting.
So
Didn't realize
that was a
button. All right, and you know there still are some activations to come for the Zuckbots, and you know probably next AMA we'll give you a little glimpse into the progress we've made with the Zuckbots BattleBots mobile game as well, which has actually made a lot of progress. So we look forward to sharing that with you all. Okay, other things that I just wanted to touch on before we do meet the team is tie-dye merch is being shipped out. Sorry, got a bit of a cough. Everyone who won the goodie boxes, I think we had 3 winners. Those are getting shipped out. With the new website, we will be standing up the K Gold shop as well. We'll require a few of you to help us test that out too. But a lot of progress is being made, and we're committed to getting everything out to everybody. So looking forward to all that, and looking forward to giving you all your goodie boxes. Let's move on to meet the team if we can.
Hey, Skyhopper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really, really quick thing. I just want to interject one other shout out here in regards to goodie boxes. Yo, Dennis Jacobs, huge thank you for sending us out some stuff, man. Huge ups to you and your family for your new baby boy Cody. Thanks.
Yeah,
for sending us all in.
congratulations.
Amazing.
Shout out to Cody.
All you. Good shout out to Cody. Love you guys. Thank you.
All right, so let's meet Jaana Shaheen,
What up,
executive
Jaana?
producer.
Hello.
Over to you, Colin and Jaana.
Yeah. So we are super, super lucky to have this person right here.
I feel very lucky.
She brings a calmness to the studio that I certainly don't bring. I bring kind of a frenetic energy, I think I'm sometimes dubbed the good idea fairy, but I think it's true, actually. So now I'm the crazy
All ideas are
idea
good.
fairy.
All ideas.
But everything's all about yin yang. So we need someone to balance ourselves out a little bit. So Jaana has come here. We first met her while working with Coldplay on this amazing video called My Universe that also had BTS in it. And Jaana, I would say, was the MVP. Ooh. She really was. I mean, she really put the whole thing together. We had 5, 6 different studios around the world working on this incredibly complex video right in the middle of COVID. And Jaana was this calm voice that kept everybody connected and everybody on track. And no matter how crazy the schedule was, Jaana always brought a calm to everything. So somehow the stars aligned and we got her here. I still don't know how that happened, by the way. But already I think we all see and feel the benefits of having her calmness here. So anyway, thank you very much for being here.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me. It's so good to be here. I may have always looked like I was calm, but on the inside, it was just like, what is happening?
Make it
all
well.
around.
It's so great having you here. You've been here, 3-4 months, something like that. Maybe
Still
a little bit
pretty
longer.
fresh, but after we worked on the video, Luke and I stayed in touch. Luke kept me updated with what you guys were doing. It all seemed super, super interesting. While I was staying up to speed with what you guys were up to, Luke would kind of just mention, come by the studio sometime. And I remember the first time coming by and getting to see my Pet Hooligan and meeting the team. I was just so intrigued and curious about all the different technologies you guys were working with. I never worked with Web3 before, so coming into a studio that was exploring that world and also innovating in it was actually really cool. So I'm really happy to be here with you guys.
Wow. Well,
Very happy to have you.
Very, very grateful to have
Well, you must have some kind of superpowers of, from what I understand. I mean, I don't, sometimes it takes these kind of interviews for me to actually learn more, about the person we're here with. But it seems like you must have some amazing background in business and production and art,
visual effects,
and how do you tie all these things together? I don't know if you can walk us through some of that.
I'm kind of all over the place. I don't know if I can tie anything together in specific, but I would say at the core of it, it's definitely art for me. I'm originally from Saudi Arabia, but have been living in California for 12 years. So I think that officially makes me an Angelino at this point.
So. Absolutely.
I think so. And I studied animation and visual effects with a focus in 3D modeling. And then I moved into producing. And then I moved into art direction. And then I moved back into producing and supervising. So it really comes down to working with an amazing team to come out with an amazing product that in a way changes a lot of people's lives.
That's
and
right.
I think having that ability to work with that kind of team is really what I go for at the end of the day. And whatever needs to get it done, we all wear multiple hats. We're learning, we're going, and that's at the end of the day what I'm looking for.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's really, really great to see what you just said about this, reaching so many people. So I was talking to someone the other day about how well this stuff scales with digital art in general, and now with gaming. The scaling effect of this stuff really has a global reach. And what's really great is to be able to see, people from our community are pretty much everywhere in the world. Every single part of the world seems to be represented. There's a hooligan everywhere, I think, in the world right now.
Yeah.
Right?
And of all ages too. Like I talked to my niece and nephew who are like 10 and 14, and they're obsessed with the work that we're doing here. And like we get that point of commonality, and then how that gets to integrate with different areas of entertainment is probably one of the coolest things.
It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah. That's great. Well, that's great. Great to have you on board.
So good to be here, you
major
guys.
addition to the team.
The office has just been great. I feel like it brings a much needed calmness to, I think, kind of the manic hooliganness that I feel like is sort of like ingrained in our DNA.
It's
like, all right,
it's in me. Don't worry. One day you'll see it. The hooligan in me will come out.
But staying on the frontier of like always being in like this space where we have this new game, we have this new technology, we have all these crazy things happening. It takes a lot of coordination and just being organized, but also being able to communicate effectively with team members and with artists and with developers. And it's a skill set that not everybody has. And you're dealing with, people sometimes who maybe like to just kind of stay within their shell. So, Jaana, what you bring to the team is something that is very much appreciated on this side. And, working with you in the past till now, seeing, knowing how much you bring to a team, and knowing how like this is just the beginning of how this game will continue to grow, and your expertise will help this team just get stronger and better, and for that we'll get a better product out of it, and
absolutely
community be happy. So all good stuff.
Wow, so many words. Thank you so much, Luke. That was amazing. Well, I'm excited because we're going to be creating a lot of exciting updates coming down the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for the community to hear all about it. And yeah, I can't wait to grow with this team as well.
Doing here, and I think it's also you bring a real kind of personal kind of awareness. Too often we get, and I know I'm this way. We're all very goal oriented, and we're all thinking of how to constantly improve. And I know that many of us are always really striving to make it better, put some last things in the game.
Good idea fairy.
The good idea fairy comes in every now and then.
Flying all over this place.
But I think what Jaana
At 2 a.m. in the morning.
Helps remind us that every person is also, multifaceted person with things going on outside of work and personal lives and issues. And I think what we have here that's still surprising as a studio is that we're all here under one roof, and it's very rare even these days. And so with that, we want to be incredibly accommodating to whatever's going on in someone's personal life as well. And so it's good to have people around here to help remind us of the person behind all of these great things that you see on screen right now. I always say every single person in the studio has a superpower. And but with that, they also have a multifaceted. They're all real people with real families and issues and struggles. And this is all part of the package. It's what makes us successful as a company, because we're in this for the long haul. We don't want people just to jump in and jump out. We are really hoping to be a global brand that's here for many years to come.
When we were at GDC, somebody had asked, they're saying, oh, so you have your studio in Burbank in California? Like, yeah, we do. Da, da, da. We're all under one roof. They're like, oh, you all live together? I'm like, no. We all work together under one roof. It's like, no, we don't all live together.
Giant commune.
Could you imagine?
Cult compound.
I think everybody's got the SBF set up.
Each their own.
They all live and sleep together. It's interesting actually. Like a lot of people we speak to, like, you've got an office that people go to.
Yeah, totally.
Especially a lot of investors and kind of partners. Like, it's kind of pretty rare to have like a full studio set up that individuals come to every day. But
especially after the pandemic, no one.
Totally.
Especially after the pandemic, but
definitely.
people forget that there's actually a lot of benefits and a lot of synergy, and you can actually still move a lot quicker if you've got somebody back to back, and you can just throw out ideas and kind of have a back and forth and get stuff done, right?
Communication's key.
There you go.
Yep.
Sometimes the communication you don't even know you're going to have. Where you overhear two people having a conversation, you're like, oh, hang on, you guys should know about this thing. Or
I think that's a lot of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's all the nonverbal communication too. Even just one-on-one, you just don't get over Zoom.
Totally.
Unfortunately, I mean, you could just kind of see the look in someone's eyes. When an idea is really crashing and burning, or when it's not the time, to tell the team
It's
that
in
you
their body
wanted
language.
extra
Yeah.
things.
And also the energy.
Right, exactly, right. You know, certain body language, certain signs, hand signals. All of a sudden, you're quite aware when people are just not in the mood for a new idea. But then the opposite is true. All of a sudden, you get some idea. You're like, this is not going to fly at all, or no one's going to be up for this idea. And then to your surprise, everybody around you start to gather a team that's all enthused about a certain new idea. So that's just the kind of unexpected stuff that you just don't get over Zoom or you get remotely. One of the big surprises of GDC was meeting students that were in their last year of school or sometimes in their first year of school and explaining what we're doing. Usually if the person has some interest in animation, Unreal Engine, Blueprint, and some C++, those people we put at the top of the stack, and we're like, very nice to meet you. But these people are also, there's an enthusiasm too that you don't see often in people that have been doing this for a while. Sometimes people that have been in this business for 20 plus years can be somewhat jaded. And so when you see someone who's kind of fresh off the boat and they're really excited to do something brand new, those are the people we want. So this is the kind of community we want to foster. And it's almost the kind of thing where we don't want anybody to be a cookie cutter version of anyone else. It's almost,
We want to see all the different superheroes.
That's it.
All those different superpowers.
It's like
and magnify that. How can we help you reach your potential, your power inside?
100%.
And how can we make that happen?
I mean, subconsciously, it's almost as if, at least I'm just kind of admitting this publicly, it's almost as if we find someone that is unlike anyone else in the building.
The diamond in the rough?
Yeah, that makes them stand out to say, this is a person that totally can fit into this puzzle that we've created, but they're not like anyone else. And so that kind of is a requirement, is that you have to have a unique skill set that you have to, well, whether they're aware of it or not, maybe that's our job, is to magnify that skill set.
Absolutely.
But to find something that completely is exciting, to find someone that's on a mission, to do something that no one else has ever done before. And so I think that's what gets me excited about these conventions. It's just meeting brand new people and seeing that spark of enthusiasm. I met some guy named Anj, just out of the blue. I don't know why I'm bringing him up. This guy on his own made an engine simulator, and an engine simulator that's so accurate that the audio that's produced out of the engine simulator turns out to also be the best audio engine simulator, just as an artifact of a visual simulator. Here's someone that's so specific, and has such a specific interest. I'm like, I think the guy lives in Montreal or something like that. But I thought, this is the kind of person we want to work with. We want to have on our team someone that's so weirdly specific. No one has, he's an expert in what he's doing.
Totally.
That's a very, very unique thing.
All in on engine simulators.
That's, I don't know why. Okay,
The
maybe
next
Send us your
the next
resumes,
golf
please.
simulator.
right? I mean, Skyhopper is one of those people too. Someday maybe at the end of the world you'll finally meet Skyhopper. But he's also one of these people that is just the best in the world of what he does. And every single person is like that.
At skyhopping.
He's skyhopping. Yeah.
Best at sky hopping. There you go.
Sky hopping.
All right, cool. I think we are now ready for
Questions.
Q&A. All right, so
Bring it.
Jaana's going to join us for this as well. So if anybody's got any questions for Jaana, let's get them in. I think we've already got some questions for Jaana. So everybody, we're looking at the YouTube chat. Get your questions in YouTube. Any questions you've got for the team, Jaana, even the Crystal Bun maybe. But let's kick off. Jaana asking what hooligan faction you are.
Ooh.
Razor, Mutant, Rogue Jumper. Talk to us.
Cypher Bun.
I would say between Cypher Bun and, I don't know, I really like the Playboys. I like how edgy they are.
There you go,
So I think I
Playboys.
fall.
Seem to,
Yeah.
that's what I feel like people seem
Pinky's
to
out.
have this kinda, gravitation toward the Playboys.
It's the one true faction.
I don't know, man. I'm
Is it
mutant. I'm
You're a mutant, yeah.
Mutant?
Through and through for
Yeah.
sure. I'm biased.
For sure.
Yeah. Me and
Good.
Skyhopper, hardcore mutants.
Am I? I didn't know.
Are you
that,
not?
dude. I didn't know, but thanks for making me aware of that.
Doxed.
I'm a rogue jumper, dude. All right. Okay. Well, I am a mutant actually on my profile picture. Okay. Cool. Dennis Jacobs was not happy with that answer, Jaana. He was hoping. He was hoping you'd be a
I'm
punk.
sorry. As a Playboy would respond.
But what's going on
Don't
with the
need to be.
Playboy song? we got a Playboy song in the mix. We still got Playboys,
We got a couple
mutants.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
Playboys, yeah, we do.
It's on the list. Looking forward to that. I think we could be working with a metalcore band on the mutant track. So really looking forward to getting some different styles of music in there as well. Okay, cool. Any more questions? Please drop in some questions. We're just gonna get Colin and Kevin to just keep talking and waxing lyrical.
We're both good.
They can carry on. Trust me. All right. When Sega Genesis patch and Game Boy capability, Kevin.
We'll do it right after the Atari 2600 patch. So, yeah. That would be cool to do, though.
That would be pretty bad.
Lemonade, come on, like these questions. Lemonade or sweet tea?
Oh,
Does
do one.
Jaana own a Hoolie? Lemonade or sweet tea? Like, let's get some better, deeper questions than this, please.
What was the question?
Lemonade or sweet tea?
Lemonade all day long.
Pink lemonade, through and through.
Pink
Always.
lemonade. Does Jaana own a hooligan? Of course, Jaana owns a hooligan. What kind of question is that?
Oh.
Damn. All right. Why have we removed blood from the game? Did we ever have blood in the game? I can't remember.
We did early.
Oh, very very early on, yeah, we did have blood in the game. We pulled that back just because right now we are going through our rating, so we have to be mindful of how we appeal to a broader audience, and
It also didn't feel it didn't feel like it fit what we are, you know, because I mean this is, I mean for a cartoon to be funny, like I mean you're watching like Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner, or like Roadrunner and the Coyote, something like that. I mean if the Coyote looked like he was really getting hurt, it's not funny anymore.
yeah, you don't want the coyote to explode with blood and guts and
Yeah, right. It's like I mean that's and I mean a big thing that we're kind of playing with this game is it's like we want you to feel like you're playing a cartoon when you're playing it, and we want it to be funny and we want it to be fun, and I don't know, like leaning into the violence felt kind of backward for what we are.
Yeah.
It felt so.
Yeah, I think it's trying to find that balance between kind of playful violence, right? Cartoon violence, but not super aggressive. I will just say real quick, Carl just threw out an idea that I like. Maybe the Hoolies can throw up when they die. I think that's a great idea. I think that's the balance we're looking for.
They still bleed, but it seems that the bleed numbers.
Yeah,
we sacrificed the blood for in-game bongs.
Those are swear symbols.
Doobie-doo every week. What about in-game bongs? We sacrificed the blood for in-game bongs, Doobie-doo. There you go.
Right.
I hope you're happy with that. Okay, what else have we got here? Will grinding still be a thing in terms of skateboard? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I think
It's
Kevin
looking
saw
really
some
cool.
cool tests. Of that.
Yeah, that's what Carl's working on right now, and it is cool what he's got going on.
All right, request to Sir Leakness for Wednesday to try and get us a bit of footage if Carl lets him. There you go, of some skateboard grinding. But
he
that's
still
something we're
calling that Wet
definitely leaning
Wednesdays?
into here.
I think so.
Is the means of getting around.
Sir Leakness is just his own thing. He doesn't even ask permission. I mean, I see things show up sometimes on Twitter. I'm like, wait a second, he shouldn't be busting that out. So we're out of control here. There's no permission here. People just do what they want. I don't know if you've figured that out by now, but
This whole project
this thing's just this is Hooligans.
This in fact is why we need Jaana.
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
You guys see what I'm dealing with here?
Please, bring us in, please.
Franklin's Valentine just wanted. This is an interesting question. What about Itchy and Scratchy? So we've had some interesting discussions about sub IPs inside of the rabbit hole. This isn't being. We've got a couple ideas floating around. Nothing on the boards as of yet. But we've got some fun ideas there. I would like to see that as time goes on, and that's also a fun kind of
Itchy and
segue
Scratchy
into
would be so much fun.
some sort of like kind of cool IP or like sub IP.
What is Simpsons, South Park? I mean, we were talking about. I mean, worst case scenario, if this thing ends up getting a mature rating, we're still saying, well, it's not the end of the world because look, we're not Disney and we're not trying to be Disney. We do want to be edgier than Disney, but we don't want to just lean into the easy win of just like how much blood can there be in this game.
No.
So like, what is that line where we still can be fun, we still can have a global appeal, we still can be appealing enough to show up I don't know, on kids' lunchboxes maybe.
Yeah, totally.
But yet,
long been a goal of yours getting on these lunchboxes.
well, that's
Backpacks.
it.
Backpacks.
Bags of Fritos. That's my goal. The whole
Fritos.
That's how
That's
we'll know we
right.
made it.
Already on
Right?
Webby's
Fritos.
rugs. So
McDonald's
I feel like,
toys.
Yeah, we made it to rugs.
I'd
We
love
can have
those
like
rugs. I
hula
want one.
hoops, like hoopy chips things.
Yeah, sure.
Hula hoops. Yeah.
Hula hoop. They have them in the UK. They're called hula hoops. So we could
Oh,
have
really?
hoolie-
Those are called Lays here in America.
And I think that
No,
we're
they're
actually
not. Lay's is different.
carving
No,
out
aren't
a
they?
really, really cool
No,
Lays
space
is-
for us. If you
is
think
available
so
for all
just
America.
one for the money.
What's
Just
it-
like Deadpool. Deadpool's
Hula-
obviously something a little bit more mature, but still.
Funyuns. That's what I was going for. Funyuns.
Chaos right
There's
now.
like four conversations going on. Right
Sorry,
now.
guys.
Sorry, Wes.
We're off the rails, guys.
So
off
for
the rails.
those who
Get
like
us back- Jaana,
Funyuns,
get us
go
back
get
to
some.
Friday,
They're great.
Guys, one person at a time.
All right. Back to the questions. Okay, will there be in-game perks? Like, we will have in-game perks. We've actually got vending machines that are going in the game. You'll be able to spend your Hoolie coins, I think they're called, on from what I remember, on the vending machines and get some stuff out of them. That's still to come. There's a lot of development going on. There's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of things we're working on, but everything's got to kind of fit in the cycle of when can it get done, what's a priority. So there's lots of stuff you'll get, and there's lots of stuff we'll hold back for later versions as well. Interesting question here, Niku. Long ago there was Hoolie was driving a car in game. Are there any plans for that?
Oh yes.
We love that car. You know, it's just we can only do so much, but we were just talking about that car the other day, and it's a beautiful vehicle.
And we got some pretty cool.
Resurrected.
Yeah, we got some pretty cool other vehicles
it was
too.
never dead. It just had to kind of take a back seat to like getting the important stuff built first. You know, I mean,
That's a good car pun too.
We got to make it fun to do the core stuff, but it's coming.
He's learning how to drive right now. We could say that.
Yeah.
From what we
Takes time.
understand,
Takes a lot of
The
time.
car is getting serviced. In other words.
Yeah, there you go.
Tuning cars and getting those working, it's a hell of a thing, right? Like
It is, and you need a big map.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
because
totally.
as soon as you got a car, you're gonna run out of space super quick.
You travel fast.
So it's coming, but it's gotta fit into a world where it's gonna be fun and ready to go.
Somebody once told me anything's possible, so we can do absolutely anything. We can expand the map. We can make the map 150 miles diameter. We can have cars. We can have supercars. It's always a matter of time and money and resources. Essentially,
it's just prioritizing.
Anything's possible.
That was a big driver, like we talked about a couple of AMAs ago. The rewrite of the core game foundation was to allow us to do that, because now we can go and build a bigger map where we were going to have a tough time before, and we can add new stuff. Now it is possible.
All right, some more questions. Any scavenger hunts soon? Why not Tarzan? We will have some scavenger hunts just for you, because you won last time, and I'm sure you're going to get it. So we'll do that. When mini games? So one of the things that we are looking at is mini games within the game. We've probably got a big announcement to make in respects to that in the coming weeks. So wait out for that. Something really exciting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which I know you'll all receive very well. So look out for that. Currently, what else am I missing here? When Zuckbot Saga episode continuation? I think we've got a couple in the bag, right, West?
We've got some stuff ready to go. So once we kick back off with the contract,
I'm missing those little story episodes. What happened?
Yeah, no, we've got a lot of storytelling to do for you guys still that we've got in the bag. So so once contract deploys, and we'll share the new roadmap with you guys. We'll be showing you what we've done. I know we've got some hooligans, I think, stranded right now, so I'll leave it at that.
We can rescue some hooligans out there.
All right, I've got one final question here. This is a really important one. So, you know, we've been talking a lot about a creator economy and allowing, you know, community, especially NFT OG hooligan holders to be able to kind of create content, and, you know, hopefully content that can be shipped to the in-game marketplace. So, like, you know, that's really important to us. How are we getting on in terms of progress on that? How do we envision that looking? Any thoughts?
I've got a lot to do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, from a tech standpoint, I mean, it's, you know, we got some core stuff that we got to do before we're ready to do that. But, you know, like I mentioned a minute ago, I mean, a big driver of the rewrite onto the new framework was to make that possible, because one of the big things under the hood that makes this new framework different is that the classes are decoupled from each other, so you can go and add new stuff and it'll just work. So it's built so you really can go and add new Lego bricks and just have the system know how to use them. But we got a little bit of time before that's going to happen. In my mind, it's incredibly important. You know, like I said before, I mean, having a place to be a community, but also be able to create and appreciate each other's work. I think that's the core of what makes this stuff important. And so,
and we have a unique opportunity in Web3.
Yeah,
you know, to contribute to that, because it's very clear. Cause what you're just saying about the creator economy, or just giving the tool set to players and participants and community members to make things and then participate in the economy there because of that. That's an amazing opportunity, and obviously there's going to have to be a lot of testing, a lot of figuring out how to really calibrate that. But I feel like that's a major unlock if we can figure that out.
Yeah, I want to see all the weird stuff you guys do.
Yeah,
you know, and
I mean,
You know, and that's honestly, it's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about what Epic is doing with Fortnite Creative, because in the meantime, that starts to give us all a chance to, you know, just create and share stuff and play with it, and then and man, we got plans for this game too.
Absolutely.
Nothing makes me happier than to see some items kind of go through, come across Twitter, my Twitter feed, and some new shoes that somebody has designed, or some new jersey someone has designed, or some new outfit, right?
That's the
It's like there's so much talent out there, and to know that there are people out there that hopefully can make money off of this stuff. There's someone that, I don't think, as a tangent, I don't think everyone needs to go to college, for example. And there could be someone out there that has an incredible talent for designing video game assets.
Yeah.
And if there is a person out there, they should be able to make a lot of money and doing this stuff from wherever they are in the world. So, I think initially it seems to make sense that our OG hooligans will always get the prime real estate to be able to sell their stuff, and probably just the access to be able to sell their stuff and have some kind of Web3 umbrella to be able to house these transactions. But long term, I want to encourage everybody to be in this space. I don't think Unreal's going away. I really think it's a platform that's going to be around for a long, long time. I think anyone in high school right now that's learning Unreal, I think that's time well spent.
Shout out to Jake DeMaker. I think that's all. One more question. I keep seeing Dennis Jacobs pop up and say, why the car's exploding in slow motion? Was Michael Bay involved in this?
Yes.
This is a rabbit hole. Anything's possible in the rabbit hole. It doesn't have to. There's rabbits jumping on jump pads. This doesn't necessarily follow the rules of physics in the normal world.
It's the name of the game. Nothing is impossible. Literally.
There you go. Nothing is impossible. And
Dennis,
with that, I think we're.
I'm eating these little candies right now, by the way, Dennis. I can't pronounce them, but thank you again, dude.
It says auto drop.
Well, auto drop, but
You can't pronounce that?
can't pronounce the ZD Lecker here. This is what he gave me.
Shots fired, Kevin.
You know what? All right, here, I'm gonna try what he sent me something. What we actually got to say is this, and this is a little trickier, but here we go. All right, what we got? Beshut met Moose Jess, laughy face. That's I don't know what that means, but that's for you, Dennis. Love you, buddy.
I worked with a guy from Copenhagen, and he was saying that, like, in the rest of Scandinavia, it's really hard to understand the Danish accent. But so
hopefully Wes nailed it.
Yeah, I'm sure I did.
I think so.
We're also getting the wrap it up.
Right.
All right. I think that's all for today. Next live stream, we're going to be digging more into Carrot Token. I know Steve, you just asked a question about how many will there be available on Token Generation. We'll start to give more information there.
Yep.
Some really exciting things are happening in terms of the Carrot Token. We'll provide some updates on the BattleBots game. One other shout out, we are looking for volunteers, Japanese speaking, Mandarin speaking, Spanish speaking volunteers from the community. Give us a shout, we want to work with you, we've got some ideas. We really want to kind of push forward everything we're doing in multiple languages and try and impact the world with what we're doing. We really see this as a global brand and we want to take it there. So any Japanese, any Mandarin speakers, Spanish, any other languages want to get involved? Korean, come talk to us. Let's do some work
As soon as possible, please.
But once again, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the session. We definitely did. We always love doing these live streams, and we're going to continue doing them. Should have an epic one next week again. Looking forward to seeing you all there. Big shout out to any big shout outs from you, Colin.
I mean, just Dennis Jacobs and Cody.
Cody,
Hooli
welcome.
Media. Hooli Media is amazing. I really, really enjoy Hooli Media. So thank you, whoever you are. Thank you for producing so much good content.
Webby,
amazing. When are we going to get a rug? What's going on, Webby?
We got rugged.
we need to get rugged. We need to get rugged. Webby,
Let's get rugged.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for everything you're doing on the socials as well, constantly promoting My Pet Hooligan. I think we got trending last week for one of the first times ever. So
let's do it again.
Your efforts are massively appreciated and definitely recognised. So thank you all, and till next week. Can you give us a hooly hoo, Colin?
Hooly hoo!
There you go.
Wow, nice. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, everyone.